Hey there, good morning. I am John. Today is Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023. Another entry in my daily vlog. Content creation used to be a hobby, and now I would like to make it pay me so I don't have to go back to work after they laid me off some months ago. And that's what this vlog is about, is trying to get there and seeing if it happens or if this is an experimental folly. So let's start by talking about very interesting stuff today. And most of it I can talk about, which is a change, right? Excuse me. So let's start with yesterday. I had a ton of stuff lined up for yesterday, and though I didn't publish a video yesterday, I effectively knocked out a bunch of prep work for a whole bunch of videos. Here's what I mean. I told you that there was some new firmware that I wanted to be able to test and see what it is. I did some research and found out the firmware was a 1.1.1, like the third digit rev. Excuse me. And it didn't warrant a video. It changed like one little thing in like Atari Bridge or something. I don't care. I mean, I care, but it's not worth the video. It's not, not enough driver for that. If it were something really interesting that changed, like a 1.2 or a 2.0. So okay, so did the research to find out that that's not a viable video. That took time. Next thing I talked about was some of these guys. They haven't arrived yet, so while I'm prepped for that, didn't do any work on that. However, I did do a couple of videos. I have a tier video that I'm going to do, and I have a review of a handheld gadget. Both of those I did the thumbnail for, I did research and layout for, and in fact on my table right now is a handheld gadget. You can't see if the camera could swing, and there's nobody else in here to do that. Believe me, there's the gadget set up on my table ready to do the playing. And then I'm going to shoot that in reverse. I'll do the gameplay, and then I'll do the unboxing, and then I'll do the stand-up and say, hey, why don't we go take this to the table? I often do things that way just so I know how to, unless in the video I'm saying, let's open this for the first time together. I'm not disingenuous about that, but if in fact it doesn't matter the order, I'll often do it in that order so I know what to say is coming. So anyway, you'll see. It's one of those where it made sense to shoot it backwards, so I'm doing that. And then I had, and then at the end of the day, I had I had the call with the group that I have been consulting with, and here's. I'll talk about that at the end, the good news that's coming, which is really cool. Here my voice is really weird for no good reason. I'll tell you why. It's because at SFGE, I went to the Saturday Night 80s prom and was screaming the whole time. The band was great, but I was screaming because I was screaming the lyrics at the band because they're playing these old 80s cover songs. And you know every single one of them, and you're screaming along. And it's just catching up with me. Stat-wise, normal. In fact, the normalcy is such that it's become a new normal. It just actually feels a little lower than it ought to be. I haven't rewound to find out what the old normal was, but I feel like we've settled into a new lower normal, which is bad news. But I'm not really concerned about it because of the stuff I know that's coming in the future. I'll talk about that in a second. So let's talk about today. Today I'm going to work on that the handheld electronic toy that I have sitting on the table now. I plan to shoot and release that video by this afternoon. Then later in the evening, we record with 1980s Now, the podcast, which, by the way, at SFGE was the first time that all three of us on that show were together in the same physical space. Will and Kat had known each other before, and they live a couple hours from one another, but I had never met Will or Kat in person, and we had never recorded together in person, so all of that happened. So it's gonna make a fun dynamic change, I think, Wednesday, because now we will have all actually met in person. I don't think it's going to change the flow of the show or anything, but it's going to change. Hear that? Yeah, it's going to change the way we interact with each other a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. It's it's that thing where you meet somebody in real life after knowing them well online. I mean, I've known them for more than almost 2 years now, and on the show for a year, and then to have finally met them in person was just fleshed out, our relationship, which was really cool and fun. And another awesome side effect of everyone getting together at SFGE last weekend. Okay, that's today. Let me just tell you what cool stuff is coming. So, shh, between you and me, right? So, there are a few silver bullets that you can be handed as a content creator that you can almost be certain are going to reap dividends. You know, you can load bullets in a chamber and just shoot all over the place and hope you hit something. You know, pick a topic, cover a video. But they say you either have to do it first, do it best, or do something no one has ever done before at all. So the third one is really tough. You got to find something no one's ever done before. And when people do that, you hear about it. You're like, oh my God, there's this guy online who's reviewing Star Wars movies while standing on his head drinking turpentine. It just was something bizarre, like no one's ever done that, let's go look, right? So do something no one's ever done before. That's not it. Do it the absolute best. That's not me. I do okay, and I do well, and sometimes I can do something after the fact and get some views. We proved that with the tier videos, but do something first. So the company that I have been consulting with and working with is about to start releasing some of the toys and products that I've been helping them to actually do quality assurance testing on. So I have a product that's releasing in the coming weeks, and I will be the first content creator on the planet, as far as I know, to be able to review this item before it even hits store shelves. Now, doing it before it hits the shelves is not so rare. Being the first one, not the first of a batch of 50, not the first of a batch of 20, I've been told that I will be the first. Beyond that, I pitched the idea of doing a sneak peek well before that. I'm talking in the coming 2 weeks, doing a sneak peek of a part of the product that, again, no one else, no content creators have their hands on. So in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to do a video about it. In a further 2 weeks, I'll have the full product, weeks before it hits the store shelves, that I can do a full review of. By the way, a product I've already had my hands on for some time, it's just now I'll be doing the actual review of, because I had it well ahead of time. But I had it ahead of time, but I was not allowed to talk about it or publish anything, right? So I'll be able to do that. In addition, they have a number of new products that are on the way, all of which I have been promised they will send my way out of their gratitude for the work I've been doing for them and the relationship that we are building. Relationship building, I cannot overemphasize the power of finding a contact, working with them closely, giving of yourself, and not even like totally altruistically, right? I mean, I was doing some paid consulting work, but the work I did was such that they're like, man, you really helped us. I think we're going to put out an awesome product together. Together, they said to me, which they're doing all the work, and I'm poking holes. I go, that's not right. This is dumb. You should fix that. Little stuff like that, within reason. And here's the secret. The reason this worked out and is because there's this Venn diagram of things that they kind of needed. They needed a nerd that knows about old video games. They needed somebody that understood software development. They needed somebody that knew how to do quality assurance work. I'm painting this Venn diagram on the screen, right? There's a very narrow area where those things overlap, and I'm standing in it. And those people don't grow on trees. I mean, look, people that play with Atari, you can find them. People that knew software, those people are out there, but because of my path in life, I have been in all those worlds, and I was able to contribute to them beyond what they expected because they knew I knew Atari. They didn't know that I knew quality assurance work or software development. That was like, oh, really? Oh, wow. And we learned that over the course of our relationship. So this silver bullet we're talking about, it may be a bandolero of silver bullets, because in the coming weeks, in the coming months leading into the fall, I should be getting product review, first shot of products that are coming to market that no one will have touched yet, or at worst case scenario, haven't hit the store shelves and very few people have touched yet. And that is amazing for the opportunity to get out there in front of people. Look at all the short videos that we just got in front of hundreds of thousands of people, and we gained so many subscribers and new viewers. This is the same thing, but with long form content that not only pays as people watch it, but also pays in the dividends of volume and exposure to GenXGrownUp because we had the opportunity to get a retail product well ahead of time. I will speak in slightly lesser ambiguities as time goes on in the coming weeks. And we're talking, just to put something finite on this, we're in August right now. August 18th is my target for the first one of these videos. It's not long, a couple weeks. So it's all shaping up. And I have high hopes for what this will do for our experiment, for GenXGrownUp, for me, for us, for this entire endeavor. It's going to be a fun time to be watching these vlogs in the coming 6 or 8 weeks. So if you're here today, I want to thank you for being here. If you're here every day, you know I love you for that. Thank you so much. If you're just here occasionally, now's the time to start watching, because I promise interesting things are about to happen. I'm excited about it, and I think you are going to be excited too if you're enjoying this journey. So yeah, have a great, Wednesday. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and I will talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.